Namaste. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining. It's about a 90-minute practice. Please practice according to your abilities and your conditions. Respect your limitations. And you don't have to do all the variations. I present them to those who are familiar with the practice. Please adapt according to your needs. Think of the practice as an offering, and imagine all creations experiencing this through you. So what you put out there is what's being felt by all beings. So in that, hopefully that will be a cue to practice mindfully and to offer the best experience possible. So let's begin. Sit tall and straight, close the eyes, and bring the attention within. At the moment of creation, God became part of all living beings everywhere. Attuned to that supreme divine consciousness that is within and all around us. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering, and enjoy this practice of our senses. May we always have a strong desire for the knowledge that liberates us from pain and suffering, and may we have the intellect to attain that knowledge. And may we carry no ill feelings against each other, only ever peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. To make this practice even more powerful, more meaningful, and even better than meditation, renounce all the fruits. Imagine this as your divine obligation to all beings everywhere. So let's start off with the mantra for purification, to purify the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. If you don't know it, just move your lips, pretend you're chanting through the voice of the Guru. You derive all the benefits as though you're chanting it perfectly. If you do know it, to do it with volume and conviction, so it can be heard by all the subtle bodies within and all around. We'll do it 3 times. Each time, try to do it in a single breath. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smaripantrikaksham Sabaya Bihantrahas Jihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smaripantrikaksham Sabaya Bihantrahas Jihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smaripantrikaksham Sabaya Bihantrahas Jihi. Well, let's do the main breathing in order to calm the mind. So this combines the apana, the downward vital force, with the upward vital force, the prana, and here just balances out the energies, brings the mind to this state that is less conducive to being affected by cravings, which ultimately could lead to attachments, which leads to suffering. So we try to bring the mind into a calm state and prepare it for meditation. So we won't do too much of it because there's not much time, but at least you'll have a powerful tool that you can use at any time. When you're doing it at home, try to do at least 12 cycles. So we'll do the rhythmic style, which is a rhythm of a ratio 1-4-2. So for this one, we'll do 4-16-8. And we start off with the active nostril. We breathe into the active nostril. We'll explain in a moment. Hold the breath, drain your breath retention. You engage your throats in a root lock. Exhale out through the last active. Inhale through the last active. Hold the breath again and apply the locks. Exhale through the active nostril. For the breath retention, we're engaging Jaladhana Bandha and Mula Bandha. For the Mula Bandha, the root lock, contract the buttocks, push the belly button into front of the spine. Imagine you're lifting the whole pelvic floor up towards the navel. For the throat lock, on the inhale, raise the chest up as high as you can, inflate the lungs, so that when you bring your chin onto your chest, your back can stay straight. You try not to hunch your back. You want to have a nice straight channel for the vital force to rise. And the tongue goes to the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. Just doesn't have to press very hard, just a light touch there. The attention of the space between the eyebrows. For the active nostril, let's find it now. First, left hand in Yana Mudra. So this can be facing down or the palm up on the left knee or left leg somewhere. The other hand, second and third fingers fold down towards the palm. This is Vishnu Mudra. When you turn the palm towards you, no longer Vishnu Mudra. But thumb for the right nostril, right ring finger for the left, always. For the active nostril, now plug off the right side of the thumb. Send a few puffs of air through the left side quickly, and then do the same on the other side. Close off the left side now with the right ring finger. Whichever side feels more open is your active nostril. If you can't tell the difference, default to the left side as your active nostril. I will demonstrate with my left side as my active nostril. So let's begin. Sit up tall and straight. Breathe out completely, empty the lungs. Close off the last active side. Inhale through the active. 2, 4. Hold the breath for 16. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Out through the less active side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale to the less active side. 3, 4. Hold the breath. 4, 16 again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Out through the active side. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's one cycle. Inhale. 4. Hold the breath. Apply the locks at the throat and the root. Third eye attention. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Out through the less active side. 2. Push all the air out of the lungs. 4, 5. Be completed by the 8th count. 7, 8. Inhale to the less active side. 3, 4. Hold the breath. Chin on the chest. Third eye attention. Tongue to the Mapanati. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Out through the active side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale again. 4. Hold the breath for 16. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Out through the less active side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, through the less active side. Breathe in. Fill up the lungs. Hold for 16. Everything stops. All the mind activity, the body movements and emotions, those are frozen. 13, 14, 15, 16. Out through the active side. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do one more. Hold. Conclude. Right hands back in Yana Mudra as well on the knee. Take a moment to observe the state of the body, the mind, and emotions. Have no expectation as to what you should or should not observe. Have no attachment to the results. Be like the witness, observing everything. And in this way, when we stay in the minds of the witness, you will eventually lose the identification of the body, the mind, and the emotions. These are not representative of the true self. Now we will begin the asana practice. It is through the different forms that God manifests in this universe. So try to tap into the divine essence as within each and every form. Celebrate all the amazing ways that God manifests, that God's grace and magnificence is shown in this universe. So let's begin. Make again the practice a divine offering to the Guru within, who's always there in the spiritual heart, the center of the chest, right side of physical heart. Let's come to standing. So we'll begin with some warm-ups to prepare the body for the practice. Do the warm-ups with vigor so that you can warm up the joints. Start with the hands on the hips. Circle the head to the left. Try to get your ears to the shoulders, the chin to the chest, and the back of the head to the top of the back. Around and around the head goes. Switch the direction now. Feel as though the head is very heavy. Can't even stay on the tip of the neck, just rolls all the way around it. Good, and now left foot forward, circle the right arm backwards. If you need support for your shoulder, just bring your left hand across the chest and turn the body with the arm. Reverse now. Imagine holding a weight of 5 pounds in the hand to make the arm swing more easily. Now the right foot forward, left arm circles. Winding up as though preparing to throw a ball. Go forward now. And now the feet come in line with one another. Arms up over the head. Take the hands up. Keep the arms straight. Inhale, reach up. Bend to the left. Come up, go to the right. Bounce a few times on each side. Go to the left again. Stretch. And then to the right. To the left again, push it up towards the left. And then to the right. Come back to the center, take hold of the opposite elbows. Little circles over the head. Little moving head to neck and head and shoulders first to start. But then the circles get larger and larger. Starting to feel it in the side body of the waist. And then if you feel comfortable to do so, the whole trunk spins now. Move the body like a windmill. And then coming back up, go in the opposite direction now. Start small again. Over the head with the circles. But then the circles get larger. Use the elbows to trace the circles around your head, around the trunk. And finally trace large circles in front of the body. And then coming back up. Now, bring the arms down. Shake up the wrists, move the fingers extremely fast. You shouldn't be able to see the fingertips are going so fast, they're like a blur. Up and down like the wings of a hummingbird now. Arms by sides of the body, and then continue to shake the torso. The head flies in all the directions. The arms hitting the body like heavy ropes. And then slow it down and then stop. So from here, arms by sides of the body, jump up and down. If you have any knee issues or ankle issues, you can just lift your heels and bounce off your toes. Or you can just do this simple movement. So wherever you like, you can do jumping jacks if you like. Just change it up. Get the blood moving. And back to jumping again. When you're like a child, you'll always be blissful. Next one, you can come to a wall if you like. Left hand on the wall. Right leg swings back and forth. Try to get your knee to the shoulder, the toes to the back of the head. Get a leg now. Watch your toes, flex your foot. And then conclude. Feet together now, arms by sides of the body. Inhale, lift the arms up, and the heels come up at the same time as the arms coming up overhead. 4, 5, 6. Exhale down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come up again. Push into your toes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down, 2, 3. Try not to allow the heels to drop down heavily. 6, rise up again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The body moves gracefully with the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring your chin back down on your chest in a gesture of humbleness. Stay in this humble mindset throughout the practice. Renounce all the fruits. Let go of all expectations. Let go of all attachment to the result. So now let's come to the front of the mat. Continue our offering through sun salutations. Imagine that you're being infused by the light and warmth of the sun that is representative of the wisdom and the love of the Almighty One. Infuse yourself with it. Send it out to all beings. Raise your arms up overhead, arch back. Fold the body down in half. Chest on the side, hands on the floor. Right foot back. Into the high plank. Bring the knees down, the seat goes back behind the heels. Glide between the arms. Brush your nose to the ground, you're coming forward. Roll the shoulders down, the head goes back. Again, take the seats back, come forward. Drop your shoulders so that you can extend the neck out of the shoulders and the head can move a little bit more easily. And one more time, take the seats back, glide between the arms. Imagine you're tugging the floor towards, pulling the floor towards the body. This will propel the body forward with more power and ease. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana now. Lift the seat, allow the head to drop down below the arms. Right foot comes forward to the hands. If that's a difficult transition, you can lower the back knee down. Use the right hand to push the foot forward. And then the feet come together, Uttanasana. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. And then come back home. Go up and back again. Stretch the whole front of the body. Fold the body down. Left foot back. Into the plank. Down goes the knees, the seat goes back. Come forward again. Glide like a snake creeping through the grass. And coil majestically like the cobra. Take the seats back again. Come forward. Be regal and wise, fierce and fearless. Tap into all the divine qualities. Reflect them. One more time. Take the seats back. 3 times plus of those can imitate the forms on all levels. Copy them physically, mentally, and spiritually. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the seat again. The head comes down. Soften the line in the back. Curve the back. And then the left foot comes forward to the hands. Feet together, Uttanasana. Come up again, reach up and back. And then Pranayama. Keep on going. Raise your arms up. And go down. Right foot back. Into the plank. Knees, chest, forehead down. Right into upward facing dog this time. Push into your hands, lift the hips and knees away from the ground. Stay here for a moment. Bend the toes under. And then pulse. Push your hips forward a little bit more. Send the heels back. The nose goes up. Look like a dog howling at the moon. Now push into your hands. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bounce through the chest. Try to get your chest closer to the ground. If you're flexible, maybe the forehead comes down. Try not to bend the arms. Good. Roll over your toes again. Upward facing dog. And back downward facing dog. One more time. Round your back, move forward. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Look at the dog stretching its back. Embody the loyalty of the dog to its master. And now the right foot comes forward to the hands. Feet together, Uttanasana. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. And then back home, hands to hearts. Reach up, stretch. Fold the body down over the legs. Left foot goes back. Back knee down. Into high plank. Lower knees, chest and forehead. Come through into upward facing dog. This time, go back and forth between the 2 forms. Downward facing dog. Drop your heart towards the ground. Come forward again. Roll over your toes. Upward facing dog. You can stay, also keep your legs on the ground, your hips if you need to for cobra. Downward facing dog, and come forward. Modify again according to your strength and your abilities. One more time. Round your back, tuck your chin in, downward facing dog. Try and get your forehead to the ground. Come forward again. The hips between your hands, chest forward in front of your arms. And then from here, one more time back into downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward to the hands. When you come forward, shoulders come over the fingertips so the foot doesn't come down the big heavy thump. All the movements soft and light and graceful. Uttanasana. Come up to standing, reach up and back home. And move in a way that doesn't bring the mind to a state of agitation and restlessness. Uttanasana. Right foot back. Into the plank. Ashtanga Namaskara. Right through to upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Now raise the right leg up. Lift the heel, bring the right foot up higher, and then push the left heel back down to the ground if you can. If you're flexible, you can also try to bring your forehead down to the ground. Now open up a little bit. You can raise the head up a little bit. Try to get your foot even higher. Look underneath your left right arm. And from here, look between your hands, close the hip. The right foot comes forward to the hands. Uttanasana. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. And then back home. Transition between the forms smoothly like you're doing a divine dance devotion. Fold the body down, every posture and offering. Left foot back. Into plank. Ashtanga Namaskara. Always stay in the mindset observing all beings through your practice. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And now lift the left leg up. Again, try to get your leg higher, lift the right heel, get the left foot up even higher, point the toes, and then bring the right heel back down. If you can, look underneath your left arm, stretch. Good, and then look between your hands, close the hip, and bring the left foot forward. Shoulders again over the fingertips, the foot lands without a sound. Uttanasana. Seat over the heels, head down, and come right up. Do your best, don't worry if you can't do all the poses to the full extent that you like to, just keep trying. It's the effort that's most important, not the result. Arch back. This time, bend your knees, belly under thighs, send your hands over your shoulders. Forehead, if you can, to the shins, belly against the thighs. Now, the right foot goes back knee down. Kapyasana, reach up, drop your shoulders down, walk your shoulders back and forth. Speech all the way forward, lift the chest, push the lower back in. Good. Arch your back. So you can get your arms beside or behind your ears. Now come back into the high plank. You can do another entry of your choice if you like. You can do the same one, Ashtanga Namaskara, or you can come in Chaturanga if you like. Coming down in one line from the heel to the top of the head, hovering just above the ground. Push out your hands into upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Raise the right leg up. Step the foot between the hands. Back knee down. Kapyasana again. Reach up with the arms. The shoulders come up by the ears, but then drop your shoulders down. Wiggle. Good. Reach back. Push your seat all the way forward towards the front heel. Arch the back. Come forward, swing your hands behind the back. If you can, without touching your fingers to the ground, hold the breath. The left foot comes beside the right. Uttanasana. Again, push your belly into your thighs. You can bounce a little bit. Try to get your forehead to shins. Your chest below the knees. And now come right back up. Arch back, engage the buttocks, the upper back to support you in the movement. And then back home, Pranayama. Go up and back again. Stretch. Fold the body down in half. Bend your knees, push your body into your legs. Try to get your chest below the knees and forehead to your shins if your legs are straight. And then the left foot goes back. Kapyasana again. Reach up, drop your shoulders down. Let's take your right hand to bend your right arm. Use the left hand to guide the elbow further up and back. Send the hand down the back between the shoulder blades. You can stay here, lean back, push into the back of the heart. If you can take your left hand behind your back, join them together and push right into the back of the heart. Lift the gaze. Good. Pull the body for the belly hips. Drop your seat further down. And from here, break the pose. Release the hands. Step back into plank. Any entry of your choice into upward facing dog, chaturanga or otherwise. Ashtanga Namaskar. Move to upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left leg goes up. Step the foot between the hands. Back knee down. Start off with Kapiyasana. Seat all the way forward. Push your lower back up and in. Pull the torso out of the hips using your arms to help. And then drop your shoulders down. Now from here, take your right hand to your left elbow. Bring the left elbow, the hand, fingers down the back, between your shoulder blades, push into the back of the heart. You can always stay there or bring your right arm up the back. Join your hands together. Try to keep your left elbow right against the center of the head, not to the side. Right over the middle of the head here. Push, anchor it in place with your head. And from here, release. Arms go back behind your body, join together. The right foot comes to meet the left. Uttanasana. Push your seat all the way up. Your head close to the feet. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. And then return home, hands to the heart. So it's the same sequence now, without stopping. Reach up, come down. Transition between the forms like a shapeshifter, moving effortlessly. The right foot back. Kapiyasana. And coming right back. If you want any of those transitions we did before, or swing your left leg all the way up, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come forward into high plank. Shoulders over fingertips. You can lower your chest down first. If you need to, you lower the knee down, the right knee down at the same time as your chest is lowering. So you're into upward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then the right leg goes up. Step the foot between the hands. Back knee down, reach up. Move gracefully and fluidly and silently, like you see yourself moving in your dreams. Hands behind the back, the left foot beside the right. Uttanasana. Face to the shins, hands over your shoulders towards the ground in front of you. And then right up. Come back home. Always coming back to the source of divine love. Infuse all the movements with love and devotion. Bend your knees, belly on your thighs, send your hands over your shoulders. Left foot goes back. Into Kapiyasana. Shine your light from within. Come right back down with your hands. Ashtanga Namaskara, Chaturanga, or you can do this transition with the right leg all the way up and back, Ekapada. Come forward with your shoulders over the fingertips. Lower your chest down. Pull the elbows into sides body, push through with your toes. This will help you to remain control. Upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left leg up. Through constant practice, you learn all sorts of tricks to move the body with ease. Kapiyasana. Reach up and back. Stretch fingertips over the toes. Come forward again. Belly on your thighs. Join your feet together. Uttanasana. Come right up to stand again. Hasta Uttanasana. Standing salute. And then we'll bring it back home. Hands to the heart. Good. Take a breath here from the center of the chest. Breathe up to the space between your eyebrows. Send the ones up there. Hold the breath there to set the seat of divine perception. Try to ensure that all actions, thoughts, and words are always coming from a place of love. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain established in divine love towards all. So now, release. We will continue with some other sequences for balance. So now, let's start off on the left foot. Take hold of the right heel from the inside. Start off with ballet pose. If you're having trouble balancing, stand with your back against the wall, or the left fingertips can come to the wall. So you can take your arm and leg out to the side. Flex your foot. It sometimes helps with balance. Try to have your toes and fingers in the same line. Maybe at the height of the shoulder, maybe higher. Just do the chest. Exude the grace and the poise of a ballet dancer. Good. Keep saying, this is for you, God. Now from here, into tree. So you can either bring your foot on the inseam of the leg or in your lotus if you have a lotus. You can lean forward if you have a lotus. Use your left hand to assist the right hand to get to the foot and take the bind. And the left hand can come in front of the heart if you're doing this version. Otherwise, maybe your hands come up over the head. Stretch up. Be tall and steady like a tree, anchor down to the left foot. Now, bring your foot, release the foot, it comes across, if you're in tree that is. If you're laying the tree with your foot against the thigh, you can come across like this. If you have a lotus, you can keep your lotus. So from here, if you're lotus, you can fold the body down right in half. You can still keep your bind, your left hand on the outside of the left foot or maybe on the foot. If you're in the figure 4 pose, you can either, if you can't reach the ground, you can reach forward so you're like sitting on a chair, work your thighs. Or you can see you can bring your hands down and push your seat up and bring your hands beside your foot. Option here to go into flying crow. So if you're in lotus, you might have to take your foot out a little bit, hook your toes around the outside of the left arm, just push the right knee against the back of the right arm at the armpit, come forward. So you can lift your heel up off the ground, so you can lift your foot up off the ground, so you can extend your leg. And break the pose. Come back up. And release. And not important if you don't do all those sequences. Just again, go as far as you can. Other foot now. Take hold of the left heel with the left hand from the inside. Bring the leg and arm out to the side. Remember, try to keep them at the same height. More flexible, take the foot up higher, lean to the right a little bit. Good. Whatever happens, just dance with it. Be unconcerned, unjudging. Stay in the unaffected mindset of a witness. Now bring the foot either in whatever variation of tree you're doing, with your foot against the inseam of the leg. Raise your arms up, or otherwise the lotus. Your knee comes up to the shoulder, the foot at the top of the right leg, the hip joint. Reach around, lean forward, use your right hand to guide the hand to the foot, and then come back up. Push the left knee down towards the ground. Point it towards the ground. Stay tall and straight. And from here, you can either, if you are in tree, you can come with your figure 4 pose, come down and lean over the front leg, your belly on your thigh, or if you can, take your hand to the ground and you can push your feet all the way up so your hands are beside your foot. Forward fold. If you have a lotus, again, you can keep your bind if you can, and then come down. Belly on your thigh, your chest trying to go beyond the knee, and if you have good balance, so you can take your right hand on the right foot, grasp the ankle. All different levels of progression depending on your abilities. Go to your edge. And now bring your hands down to the ground if you can. So if you want to try to flying crow, you can pull the foot out of lotus. Just push the left knee against the back of the left arm at the armpit. Hook your toes firmly around the right arm close to the shoulder. Come forward so you can lift your heel, your toes, and maybe even extend your leg. Take the pose and come back up. Charge the body. Turn the palms forward. Inhale, imagine the best coming right into the body, right up the spine to the crown. Exhale, send it everywhere throughout your being, send it out to all beings. Good, so now come to the back of the mat. Left foot forward, arms out to the side, start off with airplane. So bend your left knee, come up straight like you're flying level like an airplane. Your hands in the same line across the shoulders. It's like you're lying on a table, nice and flat and straight. If you can camp the body downwards, bend your left knee, you can get your belly on your thigh. Bring the right leg up higher like a diving airplane, the nose coming towards the ground. If you can arch your back a little bit. Lift the chest, lift the chin, point the toes of the right foot, palms down. Now, left hand comes down to the ground, stay on the fingertips. If you can't reach the ground, take the block underneath your hand or come onto your left knee. Open up to the right so you can get your right leg up higher. Look up at the hand above. Now from here, if you can bend your left knee, anchor the left foot down. Bend the right knee, bring the knee right in towards the chest. Take hold of the ankle, the lower leg, close to the ankle, and push your foot all the way up and back, away from the seat if you can. If you want to keep going, look forward, make sure your hip is over the heel. Take your left hand up to your heart. Or take your hand to the foot, pull the heel towards the seat first, and push the foot all the way up and back. Or I can even just press yourself up. Oops, I need to know very well. So, let's try that again. So, hold the breath, push into your left foot, and come up. Push the foot away. You can also do normal dancer. Left arm in front. And then come back up. If you need to take a break between the poses, put your foot down. All good. Again, move according to your abilities. Try on the other side now. The right foot forward, arms out to the side. Come up into your airplane. Straight line from head all the way to the toes. Nice and flat. And then lean down, the belly on your thigh, the left foot comes higher, the head comes above the height of the knee. You can arch your back a little bit, push your shoulders back, your chin up, left foot comes up higher if you can. Imagine you're an eagle soaring through the air. And then the right hand comes down, stay on the fingertips, turn to your left, raise the left arm up. Reach up the left foot, point the toes, keep your fingers together. All the details to make the pose as beautiful as possible, the best offering possible. You can stay here or bend your right knee, anchor the right foot down, pull the left knee in towards the chest, and then pull the leg all the way up and back again, away from the seat. Open up, it's like you're doing a bow pose. Stretch the front of the body. If you want to keep going, look forward. Make sure your hip is in line with your heel. Take your right hand to your heart. You can stay there, or you can press into your right foot. Come into dancer. Right leg straightens. If you can take the right hand to the foot as well. Standing bow pose. You can do this with the head down as well. Break the pose. Release the left foot. Palms against the sides of the legs. Breathe in the best right up to the crown. Exhale, send it everywhere throughout the body. Feel recharged, feel rejuvenated. Okay, one more. Bring the left foot forward. Fingertips on the ground. Raise the right leg up. Actually, start in the hummingbird. So the right knee comes up, your heel towards the seat. You can keep your fingers on the ground, the fingertips on the ground with the index fingers. Eventually, bring your fingertips away from the ground. Your belly is resting on your thigh. And then your right arm, your arms go up if you can. Gaze at the ground. Now from here, see if you can straighten the right leg out a little bit. If you can, otherwise if you can't, tight hamstrings, keep your knee bent. Push your knee up higher. The left hand comes to the ankle, and then move the right hand right in close beside your foot. come off all but just the index finger maybe, and then place the right hand on the foot. If you have the flexibility, the right leg is straight. Try to get your foot in the same line as the left foot. And see if you can take the right hand again on the foot. Gaze is just beyond your toes. Now bring the hands down on either side of the foot. Push into the heels, your palms, push into your toes, and lift the left heel up. If you can, it's a little easier if you keep your right leg bent. Push to the base of the toes and the heel, and you can stay just doing this, push into the ground as you lift your heel, or take a hop up, see if you can come up. So just practice coming up, push into your heels, your palms, the fingertips, and see if you can come up. You can also do this on a wall or the seat of the chair. Bring your the right foot on the chair or seat or the wall, and see if you can bring your other leg up. You can bring your left leg up and see if you can balance. Pull your toes away from the seat or the chair eventually, or the wall. Flex your feet, push to the base of the toes. And then come back down. So try it on the other side, but before we do this, bend your knees, you land your belly on your thighs, slip your hands underneath your feet, so you're stepping on your hands with your heels. Pull the body right against the legs. Try to get your chest below the knees, your forehead to your shins. Again, it's more important to just keep your belly to the thighs, so if you can't keep your knees bent, then that's okay. Now release the other side. Starting off with hummingbird. Slide your left foot back and bring your left knee all the way up, the heels towards the seat. Index fingers can stay on either side of the mat. Eventually you can lift your fingers up off the ground. Gaze at the ground in front of you, in front of the foot. Eventually you can bring your hands up over your shoulders. Keep gazing at the ground. Be small, like the little hummingbird. And now bring the hands down on the ground, the right hand to the ankle, the index finger pressing on the outside of the heel. Keep again your belly to the side, bring your left hand in, right close to the foot, see if you can take up all but just the index finger off the ground. Eventually, maybe hold your breath, you can take your left hand on your foot as well. If you have the flexibility, again, extend your left leg all the way up if you can, standing split. And maybe you can get your chin on your shin. So again, according to your abilities, your flexibility, your hip in line with your heel. And bring your hands down to the ground and see if you can bend your left leg again. Feel heel close to your seat. See if you can get the right heel up off the ground. Push into your toes, push into the ground with your hands. And if you feel comfortable, push off with your toes and see if you can take a few jumps up. Maybe eventually you'll be able to land in your handstand. Push the base of the toes. Go over. It's a good way to practice going to Urdhva Dhanurasana. So again, push the heels, toes. A little bit more practice to strengthen the wrists. Push the base of the toes. Keep the arms straight. Push firmly into the ground. The head is always down. Looking at the ground between your heads. A little bit in front of your hands. And then come back down. Again, step on your hands. Step on your hands with your heels. Push your shins back. Try to get your forearms and your calves together. Your belly stays with your thighs, your armpits on either side of the knees. Breathe in. Breathe out. Roll your way back up. Head stays heavy as you come up. Turn the palms forward. Inhale the best right up. The spine to the crown. Exhale, send it everywhere. Inhale, imagine lights of every color now coming right into this body through the pores of the skin, all the way up the body to the crown. Exhale, send the light everywhere. Shine from within. Radiate your light to all beings. So now stand in the middle of the mat. We're continuing with some other poses now. So you can either jump or step your feet apart. Your feet are about the width of the, it should be, the toes should be underneath your fingers. Turn to your left. Left foot turns forward. Virabhadrasana. If you have the flexibility, go a little bit lower, your knee over your toes, if your knee is also okay with it. Otherwise, your knee is, your shin is straight. Try to have the hip on the same line as your knee. Look over the front hand. Be strong and steady like the warrior. Come into the consciousness of serving, of protecting. Right up into Virabhadrasana 1. Turn your right foot so it's about a 45-degree angle. If you can't turn your hip all the way, you can lift your heel. But if it's too much, lower down on the knee. Straight arms. Look up between your hands. And now from here, lower the knee down, hips forward, Kapyasana again. Rock your shoulders back and forth, pull the arms back, curve your body, your spine. If you're flexible, you can take other variations. You can slide your right hand to your right foot, for instance. So you can bring your right foot up, and so you can get your foot into the crook of the arm. So you can use your left hand to assist. If you can keep your seat forward, you might be able to reach your foot, and then hold the foot in towards your chest as you bring your foot into the crook of the arm. The fingertips right beside it, right, pointing straight up, your forearm straight. Left arm goes to the left of your head, and you might be able to find your fingers a little bit more easily. Push your foot away from your shoulder. If you want to try to get your foot to your head, another way to do this is to reach across again with your foot, tuck your chin in, allow the head to go back, and just move your foot over to your left. So it's just not moving your arm in a weird, the shoulder in a weird way. Right hand can come to the foot, but you keep your seat forward. But you might be able to let go of the foot even. Break the pose. All these forms, not important. Go to the edge. It's nice to explore your potential sometimes, but always do it without any expectation. Just do it for God. Do it for all beings. Push back and forth with the right foot. Now the left foot moves out to the edge of the mat. And then push back one more time to the right heel. Lower the knee down, flatten out the toes. And then just fall to your right on your right forearm. If you can, if your hip is low enough, then roll back to your left. You're trying to close the gap between the body and the ground. Imagine that you have rocks in your hip pockets or there's something sitting right on top of your seat. Use your imagination to achieve the effect. If you're very flexible, the hips come down, and then the pelvis and the chest, the belly and the chest will come down as well. Make sure your knees not falling out to the side like this, nor this. Keep your shin vertical. In the path of self-realization, we'll experience everything. So whatever you don't achieve in this lifetime, just pick up where you left off in the next. But just go as far as you can. Be curious, be adventurous, be fearless. But be mindful. You come back. Sometimes the mind is the biggest obstacle, so we have to work with what we've got, but eventually when the mind settles into the comfort of trying to poses, then you can do it, but don't force it. Okay, so just go according to how you feel. The right arm up now. The legs should be like a box. Bend the toes under your back foot. If you lift your left foot, it's correctly placed. The right arm up, angle the toe and knee towards the right. Go down with the arm to the outside, to the left of the left leg. So you want to have your hand start at the shoulder, but then you push down hard, So the belly comes over the thigh, the center of the chest comes behind your thumbs. Roll the left shoulder all the way back. Try to turn your face and chest up. If you can, hold your breath, lean more into the left foot. You can lift the back knee up off the ground. If you want to take a bind, you can use your left hand. Turn your little to your left and see if you can get your arm to go underneath your leg. Use your left hand to tap against your arm. Then the left arm can come over the back, join your hands together, and then pull in your arms. You can do this with the right knee down on the ground as well. Keep pushing to the back of the knee upwards. Break the pose. Coming all the way back to the middle. Let's start in let's just take pause here. Prasarita Patanasana. Take hold of the ankles, or you can slip your hands underneath your feet. Pull on the edges of your feet, outside edges. Bring the head forward, and then bring the head right in between your legs if you can. Try to get your body between your thighs. Seat is up, shoulders lifted. Roll the thighs outwards, roll the shins inwards. You can stay here, or if you want, you can come into some kind of inversion, like headstand or forearm stands. If you're doing headstand, your fingers come roll behind your heels, come in tripod. If you can straddle up, right from there, then go ahead. If you need to, you can bring your feet behind your wrists first, and just lift your seat over your shoulders. Try to get your knees underneath just underneath your knees against your elbows, and lift your toes up off the ground. Just pull your toes away from the ground. And then you can start. Other variations, other arm balances you can come onto your forearms, for instance. You can come up. Keep your weight forward a little bit. Now, if you're in some kind of headstand or forearm dance or something other than Prasarita Patanasana, make your way down. So you have to engage your core and your leg muscles as you're coming down. So you can land your feet quietly. Come all the way up. Turn rock your feet in just a little bit so your toes are grounded into mat, heels on the inside. A little bit more hip width. Push into your seat. Pull down. Easy Chakrasana. Bend your knees a little bit to allow your head to go back. You can keep your hands on the seat or walk your hands down the backs of your legs, just underneath your knees. Roll the thighs outwards, roll the shins inwards. Push your hips up. Try to straighten your legs more. Keep your hips forward. Open yourself up to divine grace. Now, if your hands still on your legs, walk them back onto your seat. Push into your seat and come back up. So now we're going to go to the right. Open up your feet again if you need to. Turn to the right. Virabhadrasana. Look over the right hand. Again, very strong and confident and steady like the warrior. From here, Virabhadrasana 1. Look up. So we say, I'm yours. Take me. Grant me higher devotion. Lower the back knee down, drop down to the seat right close to heel, and then reach up and back, stretch, curve your back. Kapyasana. Bend to your body's parallel to the ground, almost. And again, you can do other variations. Turn to the left, slide your left hand towards the foot. The right arm can stay there, or, bring your left foot up this time actually. Try to get close to your shoulders, so pull the foot in as far as you can. Try to get into the crook of the arm, the fingers close to your ear, and then the right hand will have an easier time of finding the bind. Turn the wrist away, the left wrist away, and push the foot away from your shoulder. Think of a swan's neck. There's no kinks or sharp angles in the neck. Smooth lines. Other variations, you're welcome to try them. Now break the pose. Left foot comes back down. Turn forward. Bring your right foot to the edge of the mat. And then push back and forth off the toes. Try to get your hips to sink. And then push one more time to the left foot. Lower the knee down. So Dharma Ji doesn't usually use blocks. Even if you can't go all the way down, just feel hips sinking down like you're doing a cobra pose. Eventually you'll come down. The more you lengthen, the more the body will come down. If you stay in forms, chances are you might not, on the block, you might not try so hard to get down. So at least this way you visualize it's hips heavy like lead. Eventually you'll sink down. The rest of the body will eventually follow. If you're flat if your hips are on the ground, maybe the whole chest will come down. You can bring your palm over the right foot, elbows out to the side, rest your chin on the ground. Merge with the form. Every chance you get, meditate to the form, become one with it. Now coming back up. Move your foot back. Bend the toes under on the back foot. Do the little test of trying to get your right foot up off the ground. It comes up easily, it's in the right place. Go to the right. You want to get the armpit on the outside of the knee. This will make it easier to eventually go into the bind. So you anchor the toe of the knee towards the left. Push it out of the way with the right hand so the arm can come down. Go down, sort of like a diagonal line. Your elbow coming in towards its feet. Right hand pushes into your left. Push hard again, downward. Keep pushing the back of the left arm against the outside of the knee. Send the chest down to your thumbs and rotate your chest all the way around. You take your bind. Try to get your elbow under the space underneath your leg. Turn to your right a little bit. Really bend your wrist. Cup your hands so you can get your hand underneath your leg in front of your left thigh. Bring your right arm over the back. And then take your left knee up off the ground if you can. With or without the bind. And one more time, get more rotation still. Then break the pose. So from here, we're just going to bring the right foot back with your left. Come into high plank and then side plank. Turn to your left first. Stand on your left hand. Make sure you're not dropping into the shoulders. It's starting to happen. Your hips are starting to sag. Bring your left knee down. It should be in line with your knee, so not so much like this because it's going to continue. Your shoulder's still going to sink. So bring your left knee underneath your hip to keep your hips nice and high. Go to the other hands now. Turn to your left. Spin on your feet. Keep the right arm fully extended. Now, come back to plank. Lower the knees down. Sit back either on the heels and walk your hands back, further back, for far back as you can. If you can, Supta Virasana. Separate your heels. You can sit between your feet and lower down. If you can, lower on the forearms. Those you can go on the back, go ahead on your back. Bring the thighs again together, knees together as much as you can. Breathe in, breathe out, sink. Allow the belly button just sink right through the body into the ground. Come back up, press the hands into the heels, tuck your chin in, lift your shoulders up. Come back. One more round of Vasisthasana. If you have a variation this time, you can try it. Otherwise, you can do the same thing. If you're on the knee, you can experiment with taking the right leg up, maybe taking the foot. If you're in high plank, going in from high plank into the full side plank, you can see you can lift the right leg up, float it there, or bring your foot down just on the inside to the right of the left knee, alongside it. Turn on your left foot as well. Your toes are pointing the same way as the rest of the leg. Push your hip all the way up. Try to get your knee over your toes almost. And see if you get your right foot up off the ground. Inside edge of the left foot is grounded. If you take the foot up off the ground, see if you take hold of the knee, or slide your hand up to the foot even. And you push your hip up and stay firm on your left leg. Break the pose. Come back to plank. And then go to the other side. This one takes a little bit of practice. As Dharmaji says, don't expect to get it the first time. You have to practice. Left leg up. And then maybe take the foot just on the inside to the left of the right leg, alongside the knee. Turn on the foot, move the foot in a little bit as well. All these little tricks help. Push your hip all the way up, inside edge of the right foot grounded, and then see if you can take your left foot up. Even just practice doing this. Eventually get your knee up, keep the knee close to your body, and maybe reach the foot eventually if you have flexibility. Break the pose. Come back down into plank. From here, we're going to jump to our hands, landing in a squat. Push your thighs outwards with the backs of the arms, hands together. Now from here, hands down, lift the heels up on your back. See? Lift the heels, really squeeze the shoulders against the outside shoulders against the knees and vice versa, and the inside of the legs against the backs of the arms. And then see if you can come forward, shoulders over fingertips, and see if you can pull your toes away from the ground, even if you just take one foot up off at a time. Kakasana. Your body's low, your arms are bent. And come back down. And then from here, if you want, you can come into a headstand or teddy bear. So you plunge hands down, lift again in the same way, Kakasana. Tuck your chin in, press into your fingertips, see if you can get forward on the ground. Try to make the transition smooth, so you're not falling on your head. And then your seat comes up over your shoulders. And from here, you can make your way into headstand. And then come right back down. So just move gracefully. Land, if you can, your shins back on your arms. Flex your feet. Push into your hands. Hold your breath. Lift your head up off the ground. And come back down. If that was too much, just stop. You just do according to your abilities. You can just stay in crow, or even just keep your toes on the ground and just keep on practicing getting your weight over your arms. So now, next one, headstand, keeping the poses. If you know how to get into it, go right ahead. If you need a modification, if you don't want the feet to leave the ground, you can just stay in crow, not crow, but hare pose. Your forehead on the ground in front of your knees. Lift your feet up as high as you can. You'll feel some stretch on the back of the neck. If it's too much, bring your head forward a little bit, so you're more on the top of the head. If you can't have your head on the ground, take hold of your opposite elbows. You can do dolphin. Make sure you can take hold of your opposite arms easily. And then don't move your elbows. Bring your hands together. And then come into your downward facing dog. And you can even just stay walking your feet close to your elbows as much as possible. Lift your heels and come back down. Or you can come into flatten out, chin over your fingertips. Shift from downward to plank. Again, if you want to use a wall or a chair, then go ahead. So, inversion practice. Once you're there, close the eyes, settle your attention on the space between your eyebrows. Those who are more advanced can, after a while, try to move your legs around, to take one hand up off the ground, whatever you like to do. So, if you're doing against the wall, against the heels on the base of the chair, wall or at the legs of the chair, Elbows underneath your shoulders. Take opposite elbows again. Interlace your fingers. Place your head in the head palms. So your head is not sitting on your hands. Your hands are supporting the back of the head. Your foot is on the chair or on the wall. If it's on the wall, it's at the height of the hip. Look at the wall. Place your heel where your line of your hip is. And then see if you can pull one foot all the way behind you. Keep your foot behind you, dropping towards the ground. Flex your feet. And then you'll be able to pull the toes away from the chair or the wall and the foot that's on the for the other foot. Those of you on the lotus, go ahead. The idea is to find a pose where you can just leave the body alone in stillness and bring the attention to the seat of divine perception. Through the practice, we eventually develop mental powers through some postures and through concentration. Merge as a form. Now we're going to get ready to come down gracefully. Hinge at the hips or come back into tuck if you prefer. And then come back down. Rest in child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Even here, we're offering up the benefits. Slide your arms forward. Glide through between your arms. Hands into Cobra. Adho Mukha Savasana. Jump your feet again to the front of the mat. Come into squat. So from here, your fingers are loose. Tuck your tail a little bit, shoulders over the hips, and see if you can lift your heels up. Bring your arms up overhead. Utkatasana. If it's too much, keep your arms at shoulder height. Really press the heels up. Flex your feet. Lower your seat about the height of the knees. Be strong and fierce. If your legs start to shake, stay with it. Be undisturbed. Now lower your seat right down. Your seat comes down behind the heels. A smooth transition right into plow pose. So depending on your abilities, again, your seat can be behind your shoulders, your knees on your shoulders can stay in a more restorative version, or try to get your seat over your shoulders. Shift from one side to the other. Join your hands. Try to get your hands all the way behind your back so you can't see them from in front. Join your hands together. Bring your elbows closer together. Then place your hands on your back. Push your feet as far away from your head as possible. And if you're ready for shoulder stand, bring one leg up at a time. Come into your Shavasana. If you have a lotus, you may do your lotus now. If you notice, also try to keep your hips higher than your knees higher than your hips. Push into your knees with your hands if you like. If you can release your hands, you have to be right on top of your shoulders. Push your knees up as high as they'll go. Your hips forward. Again, go within. Beyond the body, beyond the mind, beyond the emotions. These are not you. Bring your hands behind your back. Get ready for your descent. Slow. If you're in plow pose, your legs are close to your body as you're making your way down. Actually, let's land in your plow pose first.
If you have your legs in lotus, you can do Kundasana. Your thighs come against the body. If you can wrap your arms around your legs. Bring your knees on either side of your head. Keep going deeper and deeper within. Undisturbed, unjudging, unaffected. You are the witness. Hands now behind your back. Now you can descend. So your hands behind your back, palms down, thumb tips touching, index fingers touching. Lower down. If you have a lotus, keep the lotus if you can. If you lotus also, as your knees come down, you can lift your chest up, the head is up, arch your back, bring the top head to the ground. And then you can see if you can take your hands up from underneath, pull on the feet as much as you can. Try and get your knees and your elbows to come down. If you don't have a lotus, your legs are straight. So you land your legs on the ground, elbows underneath your heart. Lift your head up off the ground, walk your elbows closer together. And then again, arch your back up, the top head to the ground. All the attention at the base of the throat. And send your consciousness there. Breathe very fast and nose like a sleeping dog. Those with your legs straight can bring your legs up 12 inches off the mat. Continue to breathe fast. Bring your feet right close to your seat and just feet in line with your hips. Keep your head where it is. Take your hands out from underneath. Urdhva Dhanurasana. If it's too much, you know you can't do it, then you do bridge pose. Fingertips on either side of the head. Fingers facing away. Lift your seat up off the ground. Push into your fingertips. Bring your head back a little bit closer to your heels. And then turn your hands around the other way. Fingers spread. A little bit towards the outside. And then lift your head up off the ground. Upward facing bow. Imagine you're in the room with all yogis around you doing the same thing. Do it for all beings. If you're in bridge pose, back head's on the ground, the arms are on the ground, the hands are underneath your seat. Push your chest up as high as you can. Your chest looks like a wall. So if you're doing bridge pose, it will look like this. Back on the ground, walk your shoulders underneath, your arms underneath your body. Try to get your chest all the way up, tilt your hips forward. If you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, stay there a little bit longer. Lift the heels. Rock back and forth, try to get your chest in front of your arms. Lift, 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 lift. And then come down. Rest for a moment. Breathe into the skin, the best. Exhale, remove all fatigue. Imagine you fainted. Now come back to seated position, arms over the head, come upright. Roll up or come up any which way you like. So now, Paschimottanasana. The legs together. Start with your knees bent. Slide your arms underneath your legs. Hold the opposite arms. And if you're flexible, you can just, don't need to waste your time. Slide your feet all the way forward. Keep your belly with your thighs. And then bring your body down onto your legs. Keep trying to move your chest beyond your knees. If your body starts to detach from the thighs, keep your knees bent. Bring your attention to the space to the base of the spine. Inhale all the way up to the crown. Exhale back down to the base of the spine. Each inhale feels of the chest part we're moving beyond the knees. The top of the head about to touch the feet at any moment. Keep watching the movement of the breath. Make your mind one point on the breath. practice concentration. Uninterrupted concentration can become meditation.
And then break the pose. From here, open up your feet a little bit, about the width of the mat, so the heels are on the outside of the mat.
Slide your arms underneath the lower legs, take hold of the heels and pull your body down. Try to get your head in line with your heels. If your shoulders are already, try to get your shoulders lower down, lower than the knees. If they're already there, you can take your Kurmasana. Your hands come beside your body, fingers facing back. Allow the legs come down on your arms and your belly comes down. Again, concentrate on moving the breath from the base of the spine to the crown and back down. If you have your legs, your elbows free, you can take the bind as well. Join your hands over your back. Break the palms, come back.
Hands behind your back. Bench pose. Feet apart, about 10 inches, toes pointing out, fingers pointing out to the corners of the mat. Push your hips up. If you have trouble with your wrists, just keep your seat down. Lift your chest, allow the head to go back. Otherwise, you stay here and breathe very fast in nose. Make the belly jump. Lower the seat down. Hug your legs to the body, breathe in. Hold the breath, all the attention suspended at the space between the eyebrows. Concentrate very hard there. At some point you may actually trigger divine bliss once the Shakti, once the energy gets up there, that's residing at the base of the spine. Exhale, release slowly. No big explosion out of the breath, out of the body. A controlled exhale. So let's come onto your belly.
Forehead stacked on hands in front. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands underneath the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back. Make your way up into Cobra. If you need to modification, stay on your forearms for Sphinx. Curve your body, your back body, make the spine look like a letter C. You can shift from one side to the other. Walk your heads in closer and closer. Try to get more of your body up off the ground, but the hips stay on the ground, so this is not upward facing dog. Your hips, your pelvis is still on the ground. Okay, push into your fingertips. So you can get a little bit more height still, shoulders back. Chest wide like the wings on either side of the cobra's head. If you want, you can open up your legs. Really press into your fingertips. Hips have to be right behind your hands. Bring your toes up. Imagine you are holding socks behind your knees. And see if you can get your toes up to the head. No matter if they don't touch, just visualize it. Yourself in the practice trying to attain. And determination, constant practice, and adherence to ethical rules. Anything is eventually possible. Break the pose, come back down. Forehead on the hands, breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Next one, bow pose. Take hold of, again, bring the left forearm across the front of the chest. Left foot down, press into the base of the toes. Bring the right foot up and take hold of the ankle. And then lift. Push the, really pull with your leg, your head, your leg with your hands. Stay there, hold the breath, and see if you can get your other leg. If you need to, you can use a wheel or a strap just so you can catch your feet or hang on to your pull on your pant legs. Hold your legs up to your pant legs. And then so you can pull on your legs, try to get your thighs up off the ground. You want to rock a little bit. You might be able to get right onto your thighs. Hold a little bit longer. Try to get your feet up over your head. Look up. You might be able to see your toes eventually. Shoulders back. Just open. Surrender to the pose. Break the pose. Come back down. So from here, turn your right head to the right. Your right arm bends, your right leg bends. Like recovery pose. Parsvasana. Come back. One more bow pose of your choice. If you'd rather do another back bend, a cobra, or bridge pose, you may. If you do upward facing dog, upward facing bow if you like as well. So one more. If you're taking the full pose, if you have the shoulder flexibility, again, press into one arm, lift the foot up, press the thumb into the base of the toes, other fingers on the outside, and then move the elbow up as high as you can so that it's higher or in the same line as the shoulder, and then you can bring your arm forward without torquing your shoulder around in a weird way. If you can't get your other foot up the same way, just take a half one like this. Okay, otherwise, you switch, you do the arm the same way. Bring the other foot up. It's easier when you have one foot. And then come up. Be careful of your joints. Stay in the pose. If you need to take a break, come down, rest for no more than 3 breaths, and come back up again. If you're doing that one that you're taking, like you're not, one arm is turned the other way, you can switch now. Off of the pose, one more breath. It's done as Jesus. Last time, last chance. And then break the pose carefully. Come out of the pose. Parsvasana on the other side now. Bend your left arm, your left leg. Turn your head to the left. Breathe in. And breathe out. Relax. Now bring your legs back together. Hands underneath your shoulders. Press up to seated position. Bring your hips, feet forward. Keep your, extend your left leg, bring your right foot to the outside of the left shin. You can alternatively fold the left leg under, the foot beside your hip. And then, Adho Matsyendrasana, left arm up, go to the right, push the arm into the outside of the right thigh, and push from behind the arm into the back. Lift the chest, turn to your right. If your leg's extended, remember the foot is not too close, it's beyond the knee. Keep your back straight, try not to lean back, your hand right against the center of the seat, against the back. Turn your chest all the way to the right. Break the pulse. Do the other side now. Switch your legs around. Foot outside of the right shin. Right arm to the outside left thigh. Turn to your left. If you want, again, you can bend your right leg, your foot beside your hip, so it shouldn't be sitting on the heel. The foot on the outside. You can take hold of your heel with your right hand, pull on the heel, push with the back of the arm into the outside of the right leg, left leg, as you turn more to your left.
pose, come down on your back for Shavasana. Lie down. And then just allow the body to sink down, relax everything. Take a deep breath in. Imagine, exhale, all the muscles dissolved at once. Imagine everything became liquefied. The body becomes like a sea of fluid. Everything floating around. Everything soft. Relaxed. And that sea of fluid that the body becomes, each drop contains all your gifts. And when we merge in with all the beings, it becomes a great sea of the best. And even though you can't tell one drop from the other, the idea is that we're all whole, we're all one. We are everywhere. Because God is everywhere as well. And that is our true nature. Divine, infinite, immutable, stainless. The true self never was born, never dies, always there. And needs no purification. Remember that true nature of ourselves and of others, because if it's present in us as divine spark, it must be equally present in all forms and all beings. Whether it's an ant, whether it's a dog, whether it's a plant, whether it is a king or a queen or a child. Love them all. So now prepare to come back from Shavasana in a way that is gentle, that is quiet, that's reverent. We'll go to practice Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Instill the peace within, send out to all beings everywhere. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God, always within. Namaste. That was a short Shavasana. Please continue if you like to allow the benefits to further integrate through Shavasana. Thank you so much for coming. Namaste, much love. Those who want, I'm doing a master class tomorrow, online, virtual, so just, there is a post, you can just tap on it, you can just look at it, and you'll see where to find the link. Okay, so namaste, hope to see you tomorrow. It's at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time.